Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Taqwa. It is to believe and to experience that Allah is always with you. That is taqwa. A lot of people believe, but they don't experience it. If they experience it, their lifestyle is going to show that belief. How should your lifestyle be to show that you believe in Allah? There's no two ways. There's no three ways. There is one way to show that belief. It is through the sunnah of the Rasulullah ﷺ. Not two ways, not three ways, one way. To have taqwa, you have to follow the sunnah of the Rasulullah ﷺ, his lifestyle. His lifestyle, internal and the external practices, they're like oceans without an end. That is the reason we're following shaykhs, to have taqwa. To believe properly and to experience that belief. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, obey Allah, obey your Prophet, and obey your rightly guided leaders. We are under the rightly guided leader, alhamdulillah. Shaykh Mawlana Muhammad Nasir Karol-Zasir, may Allah raise his station higher, that he has appointed our Shaykh over us. Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Kibrisi Rabbani, who is teaching the jewels from Shaykh Mawlana, the pure teachings of Shaykh Mawlana. And he is our rightly guided leader, who will bring us to the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, who will bring us to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So many people misunderstand now. They say, you are in a dergah, you are following a shaykh. All you talk about is your shaykh. You're not even speaking about the Prophet anymore. You're not even speaking about Allah anymore. Shaykh, 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 shaykh. You're starting to worship your shaykh. Then you completely miss the point. Because we look at our shaykh, and his life was complete sacrifice to the way of the Prophet ﷺ. And his life has been sacrificed for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that Shaykh, our Shaykh, Sahibul Saif, is teaching us how to follow the lifestyle of the Prophet properly. And when we look at our Shaykh now, he is pointing to the way of the Prophet. And the Prophet is pointing to the way of Allah in its proper guidance, in its proper golden chain, not through any detour, not through any misguidance, not through any twisted notions of what Allah and His Prophet is. So many people have twisted notions of what Allah and His Prophet is. Correct? And if you are here now because of the extreme first, what? Fanafi Shaykh, Fanafi Rasul, Fanafullah. You have to go through step by step. And how heavy is the presence of our Shaykh now in our lives? Especially in the Dergah, that you start doing things and asking yourself, will Shaykh Efendi like this or not? Because he speaks and he's representing the Prophet ﷺ, representing Allah. Now you're going to say, does he like this or not? I'm doing something. Is it according to what he likes or not? Did he say this before? Now you're starting to what? Put his presence in front of you. You're starting to believe and you're starting to experience his presence. That time, yes, the sohbat and the teachings will hit your heart, and your heart itself is going to tell you which direction you need to go. Because if your heart is not accepting, 40 prophets can come. but your heart is sealed and they have no permission to open it. You've opened it to our Shaykh, alhamdulillah. He is the most perfect guide for us. And he's teaching us nothing but the love of the Prophet ﷺ, his lifestyle, and how to be a servant of Allah. Now, why shouldn't we be following him? You don't follow him, you're still following someone. You're not following someone, you're following yourself. That's even worse. Because you think you're coming up with something original. Everything you know is from something else. You want to come to your own originality, to your own spirit, because the spirit is original. The ego is the same, spirit is different. You want to go to your own originality, your own origins, to your own purity. That time, find a tabib al-qulub, a doctor of the heart. Find a murshid kamil, the perfect guide that will bring you to your own origins. If the presence of your Shaykh is really strong with you, then that time, what about the Prophet ﷺ, who is Hazir and Nazir, who is omnipresent and is always warning us? Then what about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is closer to us than our jugular vein? The Shaykh removes the 70,000 veils between us and Allah. And Allah has sent the prophets and the friends of Allah to us for us to remove those veils. So that time, we will slowly understand what taqwa is. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.